morning. It is filled to the brim, and it is Monday, July 27th. And the Lord has given me a word today, and I'm going to tell it to you in just a minute, but it's really important that as we listen to these words, that we open up our minds to the Holy Spirit. Actually, in John 5:43 and 44, Jesus is addressing the Pharisees, the religious folk, and he tells them, you cannot receive because your minds are closed. You know, it's important that we receive what the Holy Spirit is saying. So I just want to challenge us to really take the words that the Lord is giving, whether you're listening to your pastor preach or listening to the Fill to the Brim, that you receive what the Lord is saying to us, okay? The Lord is calling us out. He's calling us out. Actually, I've had just a powerful encounter with the Lord this weekend, and I know for certain that the Lord is calling us out in new ways in our life. He is calling us out, and he reminded me of how he called Peter. Peter's call to be a disciple, because actually it came through an encounter Peter had with Jesus. And Jesus is on the shoreline teaching the people, and there's too many people, so Jesus decides to climb into a boat. There's no one in the boat because all the fishermen are mending their nets, and this is in Luke 5. Let me read this to you. Luke 5, verse 2. He saw two boats, this is Jesus, lying at the edge of the lake, but the fishermen had gotten out of them and were washing their nets. Verse 3. He got into one of the boats, which was Simon's, and asked him to put out a little distance from the shore, and he sat down and began teaching. See, Jesus was not invited into the boat. He got into the boat uninvited. There was no one at the moment because all the fishermen were mending nets, and then he got into the boat and he identified Simon, that he was the owner of the boat, and he asked Simon to pull the boat out. Now, Simon, later you'll find in the text, he's exhausted. He's been fishing all day, and Jesus gets into his business. Jesus actually physically gets into his business. It's interesting because the Holy Spirit likes to get into our business, even uninvited. He likes to start to tell us or convict us or challenge us in certain areas. And a lot of times we don't want it. We're done for the day. We don't want him in our business. We don't have an open mind to it, in a sense. We don't want to hear that he wants us to step out in a certain area. And there's this situation here with Peter, because Jesus has just literally gotten into his business, because Jesus is going to call Peter out to do new things. The fact is this: Jesus also asked Peter to move the boat out. Peter had already taken the boat in. It was docked. He was doing his business and mending his nets. And now Jesus is stretching Peter, saying, you know what, can you move the boat out? Can you move it? You know, he's telling Peter what to do. You know, Peter was done with the day. The day had ended. It is what it is. I caught this many fish. It is what it is. You know, a lot of times we get to the point where we have determined how life is going to go. We've said, you know what? It is what it is. This is what my life's going to be about. It is what it is. And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit is challenging us and saying, you know what? It isn't what it is. And I am asking you to move into new territory. I'm telling you, the day is not over. The thing is not over. I am determining what is. And this is the situation. Peter has kind of put the closure to the situation, but Jesus is saying it isn't closed. The situation isn't closed. You know, Peter has said, you know what? Maybe I didn't catch enough fish for the day. Maybe it was just an ordinary day. Maybe, I'll just experience the lack for today. And Jesus is saying, no, it isn't an ordinary day. I have an encounter for you. I am calling you out. Luke 5:4. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, put out into the deep water and lower your nets for a catch of fish." Simon replied, "Master, we worked hard all night to the point of exhaustion and caught nothing in our nets." Jesus is asking Peter to go to a place of a supernatural encounter. Now, Peter has, in a sense, experienced failure, maybe not quite success for the day, and the Lord is asking him to return to the place of his failure, return to the place of not enough. He's calling him out to do something, to revisit something where he didn't experience success. He's saying, you know what? With me, go back to that place. And this time you're going to go out in faith. See, Jesus is already addressing Peter's mindset. He's addressing Peter to have faith in him, because there's a miracle. There is a point of a miracle. When Jesus is calling us out into a new destination, even though we said, "I've been there, done that before. I've been there, God. I've done that before, and it didn't work out very well." The Lord is saying, go back again. This is the new call out for you, people. Some of you have been Christians for a very long time, and the Lord is saying, quit having the mindset, "Been there, done that. It is what it is." Those mindsets, the Lord is saying, you know what? I'm challenging your mindset. Step out on my word, on my word. And this is what Peter says, Luke 5:45. "But at your word, I will do as you say and lower the nets again," because you said it. Because you said it. Now, when the Lord is calling us out, you know, a lot of times in our minds we're saying, you know what, Lord, it didn't work out before. Why are you calling me again to do this? I already been there, done that. And the Lord is saying, do it. And we have to get into agreement. At your word, I will do it. Not at my word. Not because I can do it, because I already failed at it. But Lord, at your word, I will do it. The Lord is calling us out. This is a season of being called out. Some of you have said, you know what? I don't want to go. I don't want to go out back into the water. I don't want to lower my nets. But the Lord is saying, this is the time to lower your nets. You know what? For the fishermen, they had already docked. They're already mending their nets. Why? Because it was evening time. It was time for the fishermen to do it. And Jesus told him to do something that was counterintuitive. Luke 5:6. "And when they had done this, lowered their nets, they caught a great number of fish, and their nets were at the point of breaking. So they signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both of the boats with fish. So they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' feet. And he said, 'Go away, for I am a sinful man.'" He was humbled by what Jesus had done. And Jesus said to him, "Now, Simon, I'm now calling you. I'm calling you to be a fisher of men." He brought Simon through this experience into the new thing that he had for him. The Lord is calling you out in this season. He's calling you out. Are you hearing him? I love you. God bless you.